Hello DeFi people. In this video I'm going to walk you through the basic functions of the Impermax app. In case you didn't know, Impermax is a DeFi app for yield farmers, and its purpose is to let you increase your farming position by borrowing. You do this by depositing your LP tokens and then using them as collateral for a loan to increase your position. So the idea is that you can borrow funds, earn interest on the borrowed funds, and then later on pay back the loan while keeping those profits. And I encourage you to go to the Impermax.finance website and scroll down and look for the pitch deck right here. And this will help you get a better understanding of all the benefits there are to these different functions we're going to look at. Okay, so let's take a look and I'll show you how to use the three main functions you can do with the Impermax app. And those are leveraged yield farming, borrowing without leverage, and then lending. Now let's start with the leveraged yield farming. We go to Impermax.finance and we go to the app. And now we're going to see a big list of ERC20 pairs. So the first thing we're going to do is choose a pair that we want to leverage. We're going to choose the USDC USDT pair. That one's really popular because two stable coins. And we're going to see the borrowing tab here. And leverage is done under the borrowing tab. Leverage is a type of borrowing. And the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to deposit our LP tokens. And then later on, we're going to leverage those LP tokens. And just so you're aware, when you leverage the tokens, you can't remove them until you deleverage them. And that's what prevents people from borrowing more than their collateral and then running away with the funds. So here's what we do when we want to leverage. We're going to first deposit some LP tokens. Now, it so happens I don't have any LP tokens. So it's going to say, go to Uniswap and go get some LP tokens. So we're going to click on that. And here we are in Uniswap. And it's going to say, okay, add liquidity. So I already had some USDC and USDT in my MetaMask wallet. We're going to approve. Pay a little fee. Confirm. Approve. Confirm. Now we're going to wait for these transfers to complete. First one's completed. Second one's completed. All right, now we can hit the supply button. Confirm supply. Pay a little gas fee. Transaction submitted. Okay, I just got confirmation that I now have some LP tokens here on Uniswap. So now let's go back to Impermax. And when we go to deposit, hit deposit, and look, we have some that are ready to go. And so I'm going to use this slider to determine how much to deposit. I'm going to deposit about half of my tokens. Yeah, I can see right here, 1,006 USDC being deposited, 1,007 USDT being deposited. I'm going to approve this transaction and approve or sign it in MetaMask. And now I'm going to deposit. And now I'm going to confirm the transaction. And now we're going to wait for that confirmation. Okay, here we are back in the borrowing tab, and we have confirmation that the deposit has gone through. Now we're going to try to do some leverage, and we want to make sure that there is some space between total borrow and total supply. Looks like there's only maybe $5,000 here available, so we aren't going to be able to leverage any more than that allows. So let's get in here quick and see if we can do some leverage. Leverage, we're going to use this slider. We are going to leverage all the way up to the max that we're able to. So quick, before that supply gets used up, we're going to approve USDC. and I'm signing it in MetaMask, and we're going to approve USDT, and I'm signing it in MetaMask now, and then we're going to hit that leverage button, and it's going to show us a transaction in MetaMask, and we're going to confirm that. Okay, I just got the notification that our MetaMask transaction went through for leverage. So let's take a look at what these numbers are telling us here. This is telling us that LP equity is $2,001. That means that we deposited $2,001 worth of LP tokens. And then we borrowed $10,047 using that LP as collateral. And adding those together, that took us over here, current leverage, to 6.02 times our original starting equity. And so adding the equity and the borrowed amount together, we get total collateral, and that is the amount that we are now earning yield on. So looking over here at liquidation prices, this is what we have to be conscious of. These will change as you adjust your leverage up and down. We kind of skipped over it quickly when I was doing it because I wanted to make sure that we got the transaction to go through. But this is telling us if the price, which is currently $1.002, is the price of the USDC-USDT pair. And if that price were to ever go below 42 cents or above $2.39, then our position could be liquidated and we would lose this starting equity. That's not very likely to happen because these are stable coins. That's one of the reasons that this USDC and USDT pair is very popular right now. Now let's take a look at how much we're earning now that we've done this leverage. Let's go down and we can see that when we leveraged, it automatically borrowed half in USDC. So we've borrowed $5,024 worth of USDC and the other half, $5,023 in USDT. So we're earning interest on that borrowed amount. And how much are we earning? That's right here under farming APY. So for the USDC coins, we're earning 306% on those, and we're earning 371% on Tether right now. And so these numbers can change according to supply and demand on the platform. So you're going to probably want to come back and check now and then and see if they're going up or down. And one more thing that we should take a look at here is the leverage yield farming that happens whenever you have a leveraged position. So you can see we have the 6 times leverage. You can bump that up to 10 times or 20 times on stable coins if you want to take that extra risk. And the more leverage you have here, the more yield farm you will get from IMX. So in the short time that we just created this loan here, we've already got a claim button for 1.48 IMX tokens. And so I'm going to check back on that and watch that grow over time. And that's going to continue to go up as long as I have this leveraged position right here. That's available to claim anytime I want to claim it. Okay, so what do we want to do when we're all done with our leverage position? We're going to come back here and go to deleverage. And now it's going to show us a slider again where we can choose how much of the position do we want to deleverage. We're going to get out of it completely, so we're going to go max, and it's showing us up here. We're going from 6.02 times to 1 times leverage. That's what we want. And down here, it's going to show us that our new estimated APY will be 6.87%, and that's just the amount that Uniswap pays. So we're going to go approve. We will sign that transaction, and then we're going to go deleverage and wait for that to be approved. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when you deleverage, it saves you the step of going back to Uniswap and selling your LP tokens for the original tokens. It's going to do that automatically for you, and it's going to deposit those 2 LP tokens, in this case, the USDC and the USDT, back into your wallet. So if you go looking for your LP tokens and it's not there, it's because that they were sold and turned into tokens already. Okay, going back to that list that we looked at of the 3 things you can do on Impermax, the second item on there is borrowing without leverage. So I'm going to keep that one very brief so the video doesn't go on too long. But we already know how to deposit LP tokens. We covered that in the first step. Once we have deposited those, we would just come here and use this borrow button to take out a regular loan the same way you can on Compound or Maker or any of those great DeFi platforms. And you would just select the amount of the loan that you want and then approve it. And then once the transaction goes through, you can use those funds and then come back here to the repay button when you want to repay it. Okay, so that was a quick look at regular borrowing without leverage. Now let's go to the third item on our list, which is supplying funds for lending. And let's jump back here to the markets page. And we're going to see here supply APY. We're going to be looking to earn these yields right here for USDC and USDT. And the reason you would do this is because you don't have the same kind of risk of your position being liquidated as you do when you borrow. So going back into our pair, we're going to click on the lending tab. And we're going to see the supply APY for USD is 257%, for USDT is 228%, and we're just going to earn that amount. We're just going to go supply some USDC. I don't have very much right now, but I would approve that transaction and then sign it in MetaMask, and then I would hit the supply button and approve it again in MetaMask. And then it's going to show me right here that we're going to be earning 257% on that. And again, that can change based on supply and demand. So the funds that we put in supply here are going to be loaned out to those borrowers. And then when we're ready to get our funds back, we just are going to use this withdraw button right here. One thing to be aware of is that if there's very high demand for that token, you may not be able to withdraw all of your funds whenever you want to. It's a pretty unusual situation, but we are looking at it right now. If we go up here and look at utilization rate, we can see that the amount borrowed is very close to the amount supplied. And it looks like there's only maybe $7,000 worth of extra supply. So if you had more than $7,000 supplied, you wouldn't be able to withdraw all of those funds until some more supply came in. That's a good problem to have sometimes because it means that usage rates and APYs are super high, but something to keep in mind if you are going to do some lending. Okay, that covers the basics of how to use the Impermax app. Remember that this is very new technology and you can lose money, and this is not financial advice, and buyer beware when using any kind of trading or leverage or anything like that. But if you're excited to learn more about it and keep exploring, I encourage you to try it out and see what you can do. And before I go, I want to invite you to join the Impermax community and take a look at our social media. We have Twitter, we have Telegram, we have Discord, we have a Medium blog with all kinds of articles on it that explain more in detail how the Impermax system works, and you're invited to come and be part of the discussion. Thanks for watching.